everyone, I hope you're really well. Today the sun has just decided to come out at the right time, which is brilliant because it's another foundation test today. So today I'm going to be testing a product that has been requested, and if you've seen my decluttering video then you'll probably know what this is because there's only one left to do in the ones that I had left to test, and it is this one from L'Oreal, their True Match Super Blendable Foundation. By the way, if it sounds like I have a cold, it's because I pretty much have a cold and have done for ages. Yay for having small children that are disgusting. So before we get into my application or anything like that, let's quickly pop over onto L'Oreal's website, have a read about this and see what I can expect from it. So here we go. As you can see, it says it's their #1 foundation, which is available in 23 shades and actually matches a whopping 98% of UK skin tones. Our velvety formula matches your skin's unique tone and textures for a true to skin finish, which is flawless, blendable and never fake. Wow, there are some claims there. It's got some nice pictures here in terms of the different examples of what kind of people use different shades. And what's really nice to see, and I don't know whether you spotted it too, there's actually a gentleman in the lineup as well, which is actually really nice to see because you just don't really see that at all. And plenty of men do actually wear makeup. So here's a quick little, oh, he's called Gary. It's always quite nice to be able to see different shades in action in terms of different people. It gives you a bit of a more relatable idea of what they're going to look like. So this is L'Oreal's #1 foundation, which is interesting because my absolute favourite foundation of theirs, in fact not just theirs, but my favourite foundation of the moment is this one, the L'Oreal Infallible Matte, which I have done a review on. Can't say enough good things. If you have oily skin, you need to check this out. I'm not obviously expecting it to do the same thing as this because this is for a different kind of skin. I have had this recommended to me, so I thought it was worth a try. I have mine in the shade 1N Ivory, so let's zoom you in and we'll get some on my face. Okay, so if you are new to my foundation test videos, just to quickly get this bit out of the way, my face is freshly washed and moisturised. I do have a few things that need covering up. I've got a little friend down here somewhere. I've got a healing friend over here. I think that's disappearing on my chin, and I have some random redness. I do tend to go dry here randomly, don't know why. So I've got a few things to cover up, got a bit of pigmentation stuff going on my forehead. The way that I like to apply foundation in my test videos is I don't use any primer or setting powder, so I don't want to throw the results too much. I just want to try it with just a bog standard moisturiser, and then if I feel like it's got promise, then I'll throw everything else at it. So the two application methods that I use, here's my trusty Zoeva 104, which I love this foundation brush, it's amazing, and also my Beautyblender, which I've just been wringing out because it just feels a bit damp still. I think I'm going to leave the Beautyblender for a minute and we'll go with the brush to start off with, which I'm so sad I can't get this stain out. But I think it's just the world trying to tell me that I need to get another one in a darker colour, because they do one which has got darker bristles. I think I need that one in my life. Anyway, let's give this a shake and have a look at it. So it's a bit on the runnier side of things. Looks quite pale, but it looks like an okay match. So we'll go with one pump and see how far that gets me. I think I'm going to go for this side first. Feels slippery somehow, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's one side done. It is a little pale, it's not too bad, it's not quite as pale as it's making me look in the viewfinder. Coverage is okay, I would say it's probably sheer, maybe up to medium. It's evened everything out, but it's not kind of knocked everything out. Amazingly blendable. It had a weird kind of slippiness to it, which made it really easy to blend. I think I'm probably going to go back and we'll see if it's buildable, but I'll go to the other side first with the Beautyblender. Okay, so I'm going to go for another full pump for the other side. It's very kind of watery, I suppose, really. It's odd. It looks quite yellow in the viewfinder right now, but I suppose it is a little bit. Okay, I think I'm actually preferring the brush side in terms of... Ow. Ouch. Oh, I've never done that before. It's because I'm half asleep, I think. Ow. I just poked myself in the eye. Yeah, I think I prefer the brush side of application actually. It feels like it blended a bit easier. I think I generally prefer slightly creamier foundations with the Beautyblender. So I think that's both sides done. Not really noticing a huge difference in terms of coverage as far as I can see, but I just felt like the brush side was that little bit quicker. I'm going to go for one last full pump and just see if I can build it up across both sides of my face. Okay, I would say generally it is buildable. On the forehead, it could do with a little bit more blending. It's kind of gone a bit patchy and starting to look a little bit like foundation. And it's settled into lines a little bit, fine lines up here. Whether it will be better on the Beautyblender side. Okay, that's both sides done. I would say that actually, for how this is applied today, both the Beautyblender and my trusty foundation brush have kind of made it sit a bit funny on my forehead. It's just looking a bit obvious up there. I'm not sure how well this is picking up on camera, but it's going to need quite a lot of blending. For it to say it's super blendable, I think if all you needed to get away with is one light layer, then it would probably look fine. I just wanted that little bit more coverage, and it's given me the level of coverage that I want now. It's covered my chin area quite nicely, which is always a bit of a struggle. Sorry for any child-related noises, by the way. Literally, as I went to put it on my face, he came in, and he's not been in all morning. It's typical, isn't it? I'll be going on the preschool run in a minute. I think I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on and I will be right back with how I think it's sitting. Okay, that's the rest of my makeup done. Apologies, the biggest, blackest cloud has just come over the house. I just wanted to quickly let you know how the rest of my makeup application went and how it's feeling. Everything else seemed to go on okay. Blush seemed to go on alright. It does feel a little bit tacky, which is not a sensation that I particularly enjoy in my foundations. Normally I would fix that with a setting powder, but obviously I don't really want to do that today because I want to see how it wears on its own. I do think it looks fairly natural. I mean, in the viewfinder I can actually see some of my imperfections shining through a bit easier than I can in real life somehow. Let's just take a little look up close and just see how it's sitting. It is pretty natural coverage. I've put under eye concealer on and that is feeling a bit sticky as well, so I'm not sure if the two are playing together that well. It's the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Oh, and it's just starting to rain, which is great in time for the preschool run. So it has given pretty good coverage. How it will wear during the rest of the day, I'm not sure. So next time I see you will probably be in my check-in towards the end of the day, hoping I'm going to get some decent lighting then. It's the bane of my life at the moment. But yeah, so that's how things are looking at the moment. I will let you know how it's going later on with an update and my final thoughts. Hi everyone, this is my final check-in of the day. I've been wearing this foundation for about 7 hours, which is a little bit under average for me, but I just wanted to maximise what little lighting there is outside. Boy, have we had some amazing clouds around here today. It's been so dark and rainy, but also quite cold. Why can it not just snow instead? That would be so much nicer. Anyway, let's zoom in a little bit. We'll see how things are looking and I'll let you know what I've thought about my day wearing this foundation. Okay, so just take my glasses off. First thing you'll be able to spot is underneath the nose pads, but honestly, I don't think you're going to get anything that's going to look good when you wear glasses, to be completely honest. I've not found anything. Not sure how well it's showing up, but I am pretty shiny right now. In fact, my nose, you can probably see how shiny that is, was the first thing to go shiny, which is kind of unusual for me. Normally it's just my forehead, but this time it was definitely my nose, and that happened within just a couple of hours. In terms of coverage, I still think it's looking quite good. I don't think things have really changed all that much. I've just been scrutinising my face in a mirror that I've got close by, and I feel like the camera is washing me out quite a lot. I think in real life I am looking a little bit more normal than what I am in the viewfinder. I think the main issue with how this is feeling right now is some tackiness, but to be honest, normally I'm like a massive oil slick, so this is not too bad considering it didn't exactly promise to be for oily skin particularly. So I think using a setting powder with this, or some kind of powder, will really make a big difference. I did notice that when I looked really closely, I've got quite enlarged pores either side of my nose, and I do feel like it's kind of sitting in pores a little bit and not looking particularly nice. But I think it does look quite natural. The earlier problems that I had, where I felt like it settled on my forehead strange, it doesn't actually look too bad at all now for some reason, so I don't quite know how that's happened because I've not done anything. I've not touched this up at all. So whether it just needed time to, I don't know, melt into my face. But it's still looking pretty good. I think if you didn't have really oily skin like I have, then this would probably be a really nice one to go for. I think it has settled down and is now looking really nice with my skin tone, and it's a pretty good match, even though at first it looked really yellow. I might just get some blotting papers actually and just see whether it's a good blotter or not, or whether it comes off on the blotting sheet. So just a second. These are the only blotting sheets that I have, and I don't tend to use them very often because recently I feel like I've been really managing my oiliness quite well. But my little boy discovered them this morning whilst I was getting ready, and he started just pulling them out, as toddlers do. Anyone else who has kids, can you give me a heads up on when this phase of just general destruction ends, or is that kind of it now? Because the amount of times I have to tidy in one day is crazy. Anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, there's some oil going on the forehead. Don't think it's taking any foundation off too. I'll have to do a blot test, I think, for each foundation review, just to see if things look a little bit better or not really. But like I said, I don't really do blotting paper. It's come off a little bit, that's probably not picking up, but it's really nothing of any consequence. In fact, it looks like the foundation has pretty much rubbed off my nose completely. Even my cheeks are oily, and my cheeks are never usually oily, it's usually just the T-zone. My son is laughing at me right now, although he's being very good, he's being very quiet, but I can see his reflection in the mirror and he is grinning. Does Mummy look funny? Yeah, he's just nodded. He's such a good boy. Yeah. How's it feeling now though? Ooh, feels really smooth, but I think I would literally have to be doing this around my entire face. And we could be here a while. Okay, I can see. Can you see that? There's a fair bit of foundation that's just come off. Not masses, but I think it's just something to be aware of. Let me know if you are regular to watching my channel in general, or specifically my foundation videos, if you think me doing a blot test is worth it, because I haven't done it before, but I feel like it's taking off a fair amount of foundation. I don't know if it's showing up, but it is. Don't think it's really changing the coverage at all, so that's good. And my face suddenly feels so much nicer. I could have done with doing this a while ago. I think I will continue to experiment with this. It was kind of super blendable. It has a really weird slippery texture to it, which will be fun to experiment with at another time. I think my next step will be to try it with a really good setting powder to see if that helps with the kind of sticky horribleness. But in terms of a coverage and natural looking point of view, I think it does actually look really natural and nice. doesn't quite give me the coverage that I would have liked. That's why I love L'Oreal Infallible Matte so much, because it just ticks all the boxes really that I can think of. But yeah, I would say particularly if you have normal skin, then this would be worth a go. It hasn't really clung too badly on my dry patch, but it is quite a small patch, so I'm not sure about if you have dry skin. If you have oily skin, I think you're going to need a really good primer and a good setting powder. But otherwise, I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised with this one. So there we go. I think it looks really quite nice. It doesn't live up to the Infallible Matte foundation. That is still my favourite. That's the one I compare everything to. But if I was having a particularly non-oily time or whatever, then I would definitely give this one a go because it's not too bad. I kind of feel like you either need to have a really good concealer or not having too bad a spotty day, because the coverage isn't massive. I'd be able to get away with this better if I was having a better skin day, because the bits that do look really nice are the bits where my skin is actually behaving itself. The other areas where I've had stuff to cover up, it's not looking great. It's kind of looking typically foundation-y. So I hope you found this review helpful and informative. If you did, just give me a thumbs up down below. I'd really appreciate it. Also, leave me a comment if you've tried this foundation and how you've got on with it and what kind of skin you've got. I'd be quite interested to see whether it does work with more sort of dry skin. Years ago, I used to have dry skin, and those days are long gone. I'm just a complete greaseball now. That's it from me today. I hope you're really well, and I will see you again soon. Bye! Oh my god, you guys, there is so much stuff to sort out. This is probably someone's decluttering dream.